Hi everybody. So I am going to thank my subscriber Monkey for asking a question that actually led to me deleting the last video that I did, realizing that I needed to look into some things more before I started a discussion, and I'm glad I did. So right now, going through the book of Isaiah, we are in a part of prophecy that deals with Israel during the time that she was split, the house of Israel and the house of Judah. I actually had kind of forgotten that I did some research. When I was going through the Jubilee timeline, this is a spreadsheet that I put together, and I was actually chronicling the kings of Israel, the kings of the house of Israel, and the kings of the house of Judah, going through the books of Chronicles and Kings to actually detail side by side who was reigning, how long, during what time periods, all of that. And the reason I did that was kind of an internal double check system for myself to see if it was possible. For myself, it is not possible. And I say that because, and kind of don't pay attention to the years up here. So I'll just get those off the screen. So assuming a fall of Solomon's temple, a sacking of Jerusalem and the temple on Av 9, 586 BC, that was the last of the Judaic kings, the reign of Zedekiah. Well, the first king in the house of, after the kingdoms were split into the northern and southern kingdoms, it was after Solomon. After Solomon died, his two sons, Jeroboam and Rehoboam, are when the division of Israel occurred. The northern kingdom was the house of Israel with its capital as Samaria, and the southern kingdom was the kingdom of Judah. So there's a whole lot of history there. I have not spent detailed time going through this, which was why it was a significant endeavor for me to try to go through these books of Kings and Chronicles to document the years given, the time periods given, who the kings were, and all of that to kind of back into this double check system. And what I mean by that is the kings of Judah are chronicled from, I'm not sure who it was, either Rehoboam or Jeroboam, whichever one was the king of Judah. Sorry, I should know that, but I don't. All the way back through Zedekiah. So that's going to take you from the end of Solomon's reign, which is pertinent to the data points that I used in my Jubilee timeline calculation. So it's that first son where the kingdoms were split all the way through Zedekiah. And if you chronicle those kings of Judah, they're all going to fit in that time period. And both of these data points, the division of the kingdom, which comes in the reign directly after Solomon, and again, Solomon's reign was pertinent to my data set. And then the fall of Solomon's temple in Jerusalem was also pertinent to my data set. So I was trying to do this secondary calculation to try to see if I could fit these Chronicles of the Kings of Judah into this timeline. And again, it's not something that I personally am able to do because there's a lot of overlap between the kings. And when I say that, I mean I was able to do a good part of it. But when you go back through, you'll see that some of them co-reigned at the same time, whether it was a viceroy or whatever that situation was. Sorry, keep going. And right here, this actually becomes pertinent to where I was in Isaiah 7, which made me pause and stop and want to go through this to see if I actually still had this. I thought I deleted it. But here you can see this top part is the reigns of the king of the house of Judah. And this bottom part is the reigns of the kings of the house of Israel. Now, what's interesting about this is the time period specifically that Isaiah 7 is talking about. This is the Assyrians coming to haul away into captivity the house of Israel. And what you have is Isaiah going to Ahaz, who was king of Judah at that time, who was a wicked king and who was basically in fear for the house of Judah because the house of Judah was significantly smaller. It was a remnant of the division of the kingdoms, right? Because you have the whole house of Israel comprising all of these other 11 or 10 tribes and then a lost tribe, maybe. Anyway, sorry, I'm not going to get into that. But you have all of the rest of the house of Israel in the northern kingdom, and then you have Judah all by its lonesome in the southern kingdom. So without the protection of the house of Israel, who's about to be led into captivity by the Assyrians, again, you're at this time point, and you can clearly see when the house of Israel stopped having kings, which was right around this time period. So Ahaz, who's a wicked king and who did not right in the sight of God, he's concerned about the future of the house of Judah. And Isaiah was sent to prophesy directly to him. And the prophecy that Isaiah was given to the prophecy that that Isaiah was given to speak directly to Ahaz was that don't worry, God is going to preserve you. It might be a small portion, likely it will be a small portion, because again, Judah was basically just as wicked as her sister Israel. The house of Judah was just as wicked as her sister, the house of Israel, but there's a difference. And Monkey actually pointed this out to me in Jeremiah 3 to take a closer look at, because there was something that I was not specifically aware of, and now I become aware, which is why I deleted the other video that I did, because I wanted to have a better context for what I was talking about than I did at that time. So we understand the separations from the historical viewpoint of the house of Israel and the house of Judah. So when we're looking at the Old Testament prophets, they are actually talking about either the house of Judah or the house of Israel. And so it's actually significantly more specific than I understood from this before. So we go to Jeremiah 3, and it starts out with the chapter saying, they say, if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Lord. And this is the idolatry, the wickedness via idolatry that is coming from the house of Israel. She is playing the whore and not being faithful to her God. Again, idolatry and wickedness. And that is what actually is coming from both the house of Israel and the house of Judah. So it says in verse, I just find it. All right, I just lost it. Oh, right here. Okay. I'm like, where did it say that? Verse 8. And I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. That's talking about the house of Israel, the northern kingdom, that is going to go into captivity right around the time of Isaiah 7. Again, the Assyrian captivity, circa 722 BC. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also. So Judah is not any better than the house of Israel. The question that Monkey asked that brought to my attention is, why did God put away or divorce, quote unquote, the house of Israel and not the house of Judah? Well, the answer to that is actually quite simple, because the Redeemer was going to come through the house of Judah. And this is actually from Isaiah 6, how this leaves off. And the reason why I stopped here in the videos that I did, and I was going to do chapter 7, and I actually went through chapter 7 through 9 in a video that I deleted. But this is the prophecy of the Redeemer that comes through the line of Judah. And recall, Isaiah is going to Ahaz, this wicked king, and trying to allay the fears of the destruction of the kingdom of Judah, because the house of Israel is going to be led into captivity, and there's going to be no protection for this smaller kingdom. So he says, how do I know? How do I have any faith or surety or security in the fact that Judah won't be completely annihilated? Well, they can't be. Why? Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. The Redeemer is going to come to the house of Judah to save the house of Judah from the house of Judah. Why did God put away or give a bill of divorce to the house of Israel and not to the house of Judah? Because a house divided against itself cannot stand. The manifestation of the incarnation of the Creator God, Jesus Christ, was going to come through the house of Judah. This is the preservation of a remnant according to the election of grace. Judah was not put away because God would come through Judah. So he's not going to put himself away and then come to save a people he divorced. So Judah was the remnant preserved. David, a man after God's own heart. The kings that came through the line of David, through the house of Judah, they're the Davidic covenant that there would always be a Judaic king sitting on the throne of David, Psalm 89. So why? Judah was going to come under judgment. We learned that in Amos 1 and 2 when it's talking about all the destructions of all of these cities. Israel and Judah are specifically mentioned and separated for this reason. Judah is going to be judged for her wickedness. Wickedness will never go unpunished. But in Isaiah 6, where I left off talking about this, it explains why Judah was not given the same bill of divorce that Israel was, or the house of Judah was not given the same bill of divorce that the house of Judah was. And it all comes back to the redeeming seed, the Redeemer who would come through the line of Judah, from the house of Judah. It's the remnant, again, the remnant preserved according to the election of grace. So God's saying to Isaiah, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert, and be healed. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, the houses without man, and land be utterly desolate. And the Lord have removed many far away, and there be a great forsaking in the midst of the land. But yet in it shall be a tenth, and it shall return. That's the remnant according to the election of grace, the tenth that is left in it, the preservation that God will never completely destroy the land or the people of Israel. Yet in it shall be a tenth. It shall return, shall be eaten as a teal tree, as an oak, whose substance is in them, when they cast their leaves. So the holy seed shall be the substance thereof. This is talking about the millennial kingdom. That judgment will cease upon the land and the people of Israel when the holy seed returns. And this is Galatians 3. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said, not into seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ. So why did God put away? And again, the good news here is that she will come back. Jeremiah 3, read that chapter, because it talks about her coming back eventually to her God. And we see that pinpointed here specifically. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come. His wife hath made herself ready, because she stopped transgressing against her God and stopped her wickedness and her idolatry. And again, read Jeremiah 3. They came back to him. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. He saith unto me, right blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. He saith unto me, these are the true sayings of God. So why did God give a bill of divorce according to, let's see, Jeremiah 3? We're running out of time for this video. He says, go and proclaim these words to the north, the northern kingdom, house of Israel, and say, return thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree, and ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord. Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you. I will take you one of a city, Jerusalem, two of a family, house of Israel, house of Judah, and I will bring you to Zion. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Jeremiah 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. So hopefully now some of that makes a little more sense. I know that it does to me. Thank you, Monkey. I certainly appreciate your question. I'll be back with more in the near future.